Today we are going to have a discussion on concept planning actually. We will be having some workshops within a month, let's say on Sunday something. Not on every Sunday, but sometimes in Sunday, once or twice in a month. So that we can have discussion more on the, we can say, oral practical aspects, or it may be conceptual aspects. So many times people and students are finding difficulty understanding the concept planning of any project. So that's why today I have taken this topic as a general arrangement drawings for RCC buildings, so that we can learn a lot of things in that. And apart from that also, if you people are having any doubts, I would be happy to note that, so that we can have one more workshop on those questions and answer session. Okay. So I think many are the students currently doing the training with us. Many are pass out from us, our training institute. But even though you people are having any doubts regarding technical part, you definitely can raise the questions. So I would be happy if you have any questions regarding this. So anybody is having any questions in general, I will just note it and we'll try to solve that in the next maybe workshop something. किसी को कोई क्वेश्चंस है मतलब जिस पे होना चाहिए कुछ?
हेलो जी, प्रणाम सर।
प्रणाम। क्या
सर, जो अर्थक्वेक्स रिलेटेड डक्टाइल डिटेलिंग वाला पार्ट होता है, क्या आप एक सेशन उसके लिए अरेंज कर सकते हैं क्या?
यस, श्योरली आई विल नोट इट। क्या मतलब आपके साइड से, सो दैट वी विल डेफिनेटली नोट दैट।
जी सर।
डक्टाइल डिटेलिंग।
जी हाँ सर।
ओके, डक्टाइल डिटेलिंग। ओके देन।
और सर वो अभी अगर आप आरसीसी बिल्डिंग्स ही कवर करने वाले हैं, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट हाइड्रोडायनेमिक्स वाला पार्ट था एक जो।
हाँ, वो एक्चुअली थोड़ा मैंने लेट रखा है। आई विल डेफिनेटली इन्फॉर्म यू इन दैट,
जी सर।
because
जी
if you do the practice on the other static part and other thing in the water tanks, we will definitely take that. See, many times taking the advanced topic in the beginning is not really suggestive, but we
जी
will
सर।
definitely arrange one topic, maybe little more. It will take little more time. If you do the practice, see, many students are doing the practice also.
जी
So once they get we can say feeling of understanding the water tank analysis and design, then definitely we can start with the advanced topics.
जी सर।
Yeah. Any other? See, the students may be student, say our candidates may be students, may be working professionals, either structural engineering or site engineering or any other topics. So all of you, please, you can suggest if you feel that this topic is difficult for us and whatever may be the reason, we can definitely try to say merge those kind of things within our training program, apart from whatever we are doing currently. And it is applicable for our current student and alumni also, means old students. Okay, so today we are going to discuss upon how to prepare the general arrangement drawings. So whenever we get any drawing from the architects, sorry, then we need to put the columns, beams, and slab positions, and then one way, two way slab like that, which we require for. Let me share the screen. So GA drawings or GM is general arrangement, or we can say concept structural framing. those who have already done this high-rise building training program, they may be aware of this topic. But this is generally, we can say, a topic which requires a lot of practice on different plans. So if you have the practice of preparing GA drawings on different plans, and if you select many projects to do that, then definitely this concept will be clear, because this is very, we can say, classical part, which requires experience, then practice, and basic concept understanding. Then you can develop good general arrangement drawings, because these are the drawings on which we are preparing the models, then we are doing the design drawings and everything. So if your concept is perfect in all respect, then definitely your final, we can say, solutions of the structural engineering will be really good. So whenever we plan these GA drawings, see, GA drawings means putting the columns on drawing, columns, beams, as far as RCC part is concerned, slabs, staircase. Okay, and then deciding the load path. It may be one way, two way, or whatever, cantilever. So these are the general, we can say, points which comes in the architectural drawings. There is one more point, that is architectural requirements. So understand the architectural requirements also. Architectural requirements. So architectural requirement be column orientation, or it may be column size. Sometimes architects are suggesting us some specific size for aesthetic purpose. Then column offsets, column or beam offsets. So these are the architectural requirements. And maybe there is one more point, that is clear height of the floor. Clear height means it is floor to beam bottom. Then what else architectural requirements? Anybody from you? Those who are working currently on the projects? Any idea
Sunken,
what architect expects apart from this?
sunken depth,
Sunk, oh yes. Sunk depth. Then he also expects parking height. Parking height. Then columns as per parking. So he will definitely interested in more parking numbers, and then he will definitely check our column positions at parking level, and they should not obstruct much of the parkings. So he will definitely expect to have more number of parkings. See, many times column comes in between the parking. So these are the things. So architectural requirements. So whenever we do the planning, concept structure framing or GA drawings, we put all these columns, beams, and within that we think of all these requirements. So what architects expects from us, so that we take care. Then apart from the architectural point, we take the structural point also into consideration. So structure and what we consider, generally we consider the, you can say, serviceability part. Serviceability. We consider every point actually, serviceability, then strength. Okay. Then functional requirement. Then durability. Anything else? Cost. So these are important points which we consider structurally also. And then there are maybe lateral load resistance. Lateral load resistance. Maybe earthquake or wind load. So why this topic I'm selecting today, because this is very conceptual topic which requires lot of study, knowledge, experience and all. And this you can develop only through practicing on different plans. So please keep in mind. So I'm taking today one smaller example actually for developing that understanding, and we will together discuss that so that we will learn together in this, because the concept is a creative phase. So I would say this is a creative phase as the architects are doing the concept plans, architectural drawings. So this is also a creative phase for from structural engineering point of view, because creative means there are many possibilities. You can think column should be like this, you can think column should be like this, you can say there should be 10 number of columns, you can say there should be 12. So there are a lot of possibilities, and due to the lot of possibilities I can say it is a creative phase, and it can have multiple solutions also for the same building. So let's see, because see, this is very, you can say, classical part, and creative part, and that's why it may find difficult in the beginning for you, those who are new in the projects. Those who are now doing the projects and are conversant with this, they may be knowing how the process goes as we start the planning. So let's take one small example. Actually, I'm taking as a training part a smaller example for this. So let's say the architect wants to design, do the structural design of this school building. So it is a school building. I can show you the plan. First, we will study the plan. So whenever we do any work, the steps of working. So these are the parameters we consider while planning, while structural planning. This architectural parameters, structural parameters, and overall steps. So what we do, first we do study of architectural drawings. Okay. So what should be studied within the architectural drawings? Let's see first. Now you can raise the questions also. I don't have any problem. Let's first go through this plan. So actually, this is a typical floor plan. Ground plus 3 floors. Architect is expecting this. So this is a school building given by some architect. Okay. And now we will study that first. So see what you will study within this plan. Anybody from you? क्या क्या देखना पड़ेगा इसमें? How will you study this? मतलब study करना है मतलब क्या करना है इसमें?
सर आर्किटेक्चर प्लानिंग में ग्रिड देखनी पड़ेगी पहले तो।
क्या क्या क्या?
ग्रिड ग्रिड
हाँ
अगर
मतलब
स्ट्रक्चरल पॉइंट ऑफ
okay.
व्यू से
So
देखें।
first of all, ये purpose you understood that it is a school building. Okay. Now you can see ki what is the dimension of the building. Let's say the dimension total, this width is 39.6 something, and the height is we can say height means length we can say 36.6. So this is the overall dimension. Then you can see there is some play area in between this. So this is a play area within the school. Then there is a stage over here. Then there are some steps to go over here, and there is a passage here at ground floor. You can see this, right?
वही
So
सर
at ground floor, this is the
पैटर्निंग
case,
पैटर्निंग।
and then you can start with any point. So generally, this is the entrance we can say. So there is one administration room here. Then there is a staff room over here. Okay, so we will first see what are the functional units or rooms there. Okay, so the admin room, then staff room, then there are toilets within that. Classrooms are there then. So you'll see there are classrooms like this. and there is a passage here, so that you can go travel through the passage and go to the classrooms like this. Then there is a staircase, and here we are having the toilets, then staircase, then again there are classrooms here, here, 1 2 3. Then again here one staircase along with the toilets. Here classrooms, and here library room is there. Okay. So this is, see, I'm taking this smaller example only for the purpose of learning and training. But you should definitely try different school buildings, residential buildings, bungalows, then administration buildings. So there are a lot of RCC types of buildings. So if you do that practice of on different, we can say, projects, as far as concept plan is concerned, so that will give you idea what are the requirements of school buildings or college buildings, what are the requirements of, so you'll first understand what kind of rooms are there within that and their requirements also. So every building may have special requirements. So as I told you last time that if it is a marriage hall, then we need column free space, or if it is a stadium structure, we want column free space. So banquet halls, marriage halls, or kind of stadiums, so they will require column free space. So there should be minimum columns within the vision. So that is one requirement. In school buildings, the room dimensions are generally bigger size. So classrooms are bigger. And in residential building, if you say, then rooms are very smaller size. A living room, kitchen, so 4 meter by 5 meters, maximum like this. These are the sizes. But in school building, you can see 7.7 by 6.1. So it's quite big size. So every plan is having its peculiar functional requirement. So there is a peculiarity for every room, every plan, every building. And that's why you should try different types of projects, types of buildings, so that you will understand how to tackle such kind of problem, how to tackle that kind of problem. And then that will give you overall idea about this, understanding the projects. And I'm taking this topic only because you have already started the training and some are already our past students. Then now they might have developed enough understanding, and so that we can do this. So this is we can say, this is in learning, we can start this first, then you learn gradually out of things, and again come to this point and again start this planning, because this planning is a very classical part. And the more you practice on different plans, the more you will be experienced and, we can say, skillful in this area. And that is the first and basic part. And that's why we are taking this today also, and we will be taking some sessions in maybe future also. You can demand some different, we can say, buildings also, if you feel how to handle that. Or if you people are having any plans with you, we can discuss those plans also. So please let us know before having any further workshop, so that we can discuss your plan also. So if you have got any plan from your client or something, if you people are doing the job, share that plan and we will discuss on that, how to do this planning. Now let's say this is our school building. So we have seen different rooms here. Now you are getting, so architectural plans means you are traveling here. So let's say you have entered into the school virtually, I would say. So you are entered in the playroom area. Play area, there is a ground, we can say, small ground. And then there is a ramp. Uh, Anybody knows why the ramp is there? Hello?
Hello.
Sir, if
Hello.
an institutional building or educational building having machineries can be transported,
Hmm.
quite possibility.
Machinery is
And
okay.
for
One,
disabled students, sir.
yes,
Disabled.
the main actually criteria is disabled student or handicapped students, because this is a compulsion for in town planning. Because if there are students who are physically challenged, so their wheelchair can go through this. So this is a compulsion in school building. So this kind of smaller points are there in any building. You will see this. So you can study that. You can create questions, and if you don't know the answer, you can discuss with the architects. So we can learn from the other people also, like architects and other vendors. So it is always better to ask questions, create questions whenever you do any project. So it is not necessary that it is not my area and why should I focus on this. No, please have questions, be inquisitive to get the information and knowledge. So generally this is the case where the ramps are provided, and then there is a step. Why these steps are there? What do you think? Hello.
सर वो ग्राउंड से तो एलिवेटेड थोड़ा हाइट में रहेगा अपना पैसेज जो रहेगा इसलिए
Easily, yes. So you can see this play area. This is at zero, and your this passage, that is a plinth level, we can say. It is raised, so it is 0.9 meter. So 0 to 0.9 meter. That means we need to climb through staircase and ramp like this. So this is the reason the steps are there, because this is upper level. So generally, for any bungalows, buildings, we have a plinth which is above the ground level. Why the plinth is above the ground level?
सर वो तो जनरल जो वाटर वगैरह का वहीं वो ना हो जाए वहाँ पे जमा ना हो जाए
Yes,
इसलिए
yes. The water should not get inside the building. So
हाँ
that is the main reason for plinth. Generally, we can say, because see, many times the roads, if there is a road here, then whenever we do the tar road, we are doing the maintenance also after 1 or 2 years. So the level of the road goes on increasing, and the water gets inside the building. So to avoid that, we generally have the plinth level above the ground level. It is generally 0.45, 0.6, 0.75, or 0.9, whatever, it depends. Minimum 0.45 generally people take. So it is a 0.94, and that's why we are climbing here. So how many steps are required actually? If I ask you, if you need to climb by 0.9 meter, how many steps you will provide?
मिनिमम 6 सर टोटल
So
फ्रॉम
generally, what is
बॉटम
the rise we take in the architecture planning?
150
7 inch.
Yes,
सर 150 mm
150 mm, yes, standard size. So it is 150 mm, and that means for 9.9 meter we require 6 steps, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the architect is also suggested this. See, now you may be surprised why we are thinking in architectural aspects. We must know this, because the levels, understanding of the level is very essential as far as the architectural planning is concerned. Because whatever structural members, beams, columns we are putting, or slabs, they must follow the architectural levels. Then and then you can give right solution, right? So you must understand the drawings, architectural drawings, from dimension point of view and from level point of view. And that's why I just ask you this question. So then there is a stage which is 0.75 meter. So how many steps are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5
So
steps
5 into 0.15 is 0.75. Okay. Now if I ask you, okay, let's go here. Then again we will come back to that point. Then there is a staircase. How will you climb the staircase? From left to right or right to left?
इस ड्राइंग में तो राइट टू लेफ्ट है ना सर
इसमें उन्होंने right to left लिखा है, but there is some mistake, I think. Okay, from architect. So this is also one point. It is not necessary that architectural drawing will be 100% correct. Okay, because the drawings are prepared by human being architects who are human beings, and they may do any errors or mistakes. See, here you will see it is a clockwise from left to right, but here it is anti-clockwise. But generally, you know that whenever we climb the staircase, it is a clockwise. Yes or no?
यस सर
Generally. So this has to be clockwise, but I cannot comment on this. What to do? ये सही है गलत है कैसे समझ में आएगा? हमें
उनसे डिस्कस करके।
डिस्कस करो, डिस्कस विद आर्किटेक्ट्स, आस्क हिम कि यार यहाँ से जाना है, यहाँ से जाना है, क्योंकि आपके ड्राइंग में तो ये दिख रहा है. सो यू कैन डिस्कस दैट. एक्चुअली आई नो दैट दिस एरर क्यों हुआ
उन्होंने
होगा, पता है किसी को? व्हाई दिस एरर
मिरर
हैज हैपेंड?
मिरर कर दिया सर उन्होंने
दैट
सेंटर लाइन
पर्सन
लेके।
हैज मिरर्ड दिस स्टेयरकेस हियर. तो ये एरो यहाँ से यहाँ है, इसलिए वो
यस
गलती
सर,
होगी.
यस
बट
सर।
जनरली इट इज नॉट, ऐसे उल्टा नहीं करते स्टेयरकेस. जनरली ऐसे है, कहाँ कहाँ दिखने को मिलेंगे आपको, बट not general practice. So it is a clockwise. So you will start from here. This is maybe, this is your 0.9 meter level. Then you will climb here, and then I think the height of this building is 3.6. So generally, floor to floor height in school buildings are more. Okay,
यस सर।
roughly 3.6 meter is the floor to floor height. Generally larger than residential buildings, because the beam depth may be more in the school buildings. So
सर ये
architectural
हर
drawing
स्टेट
में
का
हम क्या
अलग
कर
होता
रहे
है
हैं,
क्या,
डायमेंशंस?
मतलब जो ये रेगुलेशन होते हैं?
No, ideally not, because town planning bylaw is applicable all over India actually. So there is a
ओके।
standard bylaw. They are having one booklet, town planning bylaws, which is applicable all over India in general. But yes, as for functional requirement, architect may think to either little reduce or little increase the dimensions, heights or dimensions. So it is up to architect's requirement. Generally, minimum requirements are suggested. Minimum requirement generally suggested, but there may be maximum possibilities regarding the dimension. But whenever you increase the floor to floor height, then the total building height may increase, and there may be maximum limit for the height of the building, for height of building. So generally architects take these heights as optimum height, so that it will not create problem in maximum height of the building, because generally FSI has to be more and more possible. So always the architect tries to have FSI more, always. So there will be definitely a lot of clauses are there. We will check this floor to floor height. And what we are studying in architectural drawing, dimensions, levels, then sunk depth. Okay, जैसे जाएंगे वैसे करेंगे हम. Again, go to the plan. So you know how to travel through this now. Okay. Here also, how many steps are there? This level is 0.9 meters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now I think we have studied. Any doubts to be asked to the architect? So the next step in general is we
हेलो
need to create. Hello, yes.
सर, जहाँ पे दो वॉल मतलब एकदम बैक टू बैक होते हैं, प्लीज एक बार प्लान पे जाइए।
Yes. So whenever once we study the architectural drawing, we should create the queries to be asked to the architect. So many times we don't understand something, or even though you understand, you should verify from the architect. So ask the question to the architect. Now please ask me. Okay, yes. क्या?
एक सेकंड मैं बता रहा हूँ सर। ये जो क्लासरूम 4 है और क्लासरूम 5 है, उन दोनों के डोर्स हैं वो बिल्कुल पास पास में दिए हुए हैं।
ये वाले, हाँ हाँ.
जी हाँ। तो ऐसे जो बीच का हिस्सा रहता है, क्या वहाँ एक कॉलम का होना जरूरी है, या फिर हम वॉल से भी इस तरह की जगह पे काम चला सकते हैं?
Columns होगा तो मैं it would be better, because generally if there is a wall, having column at the end of the wall is generally recommended, because we will provide one beam over here which will rest on the column directly, right? So generally I will recommend to have a column in this zone. So at the end of all walls, mostly I am saying, not always, there has to be column. अभी ये तो मेन बीम है, मेन
हाँ
वॉल है, तो यहाँ होना चाहिए. Now there will be question कि इसका क्या करने का. So we can shift the door. We can ask the architect, can you please shift the door because I want one column over here. Which orientation we can think on that. Yes. तो वैसे कर सकते हो, उसको बता के वो डोर शिफ्ट करते हैं ना. It is not necessary that architectural plan is 100% to be followed. There has to be communication done within the structural engineer and architects, and we should find some better solution which will follow the architectural aspect, which will follow the architectural and structural aspects both. So better solution comes through mutual discussion within the architects, consultants, clients, and other vendors, like other consultants, we can say. So there has to be a good communication. And architect and structural engineer, they are, we can say, dominating people in the projects as far as planning is concerned. And then other vendor comes into the picture. So the leading is architect, but architect at the same time, as we are responsible for the safety of the structure, structural planning and everything. So we are also, we can say, leading part in any project. So these two people must work together, find some good solution after mutual discussion, and then do the project. I mean, next step is the next step. So you have studied the, we can say, plan. Now you are going to ask the queries to the, we can say, architect. तो कोई queries है क्या आपको जो architect को पूछना है? Any queries? And this is G+3 building. So at ground also you will have the same classrooms, and at first floor it is also same classroom. तो मुझे पूछिए कुछ questions है क्या as an architect. Let's say I am architect, and do you have any questions? Any questions?
नो सर.
बाकी
ये G+,
पार्टिसिपेंट कोई क्वेश्चन है क्या प्लान में? कोई क्वेश्चंस नहीं है? हो सकते हैं ना, कुछ भी पूछना,
Sir,
नो प्रॉब्लम. हाँ, यस.
so there are no windows in the classroom. So
Okay, windows are not shown. Okay, so
generally we have
actually,
seen
see,
the window.
yeah, it has to be there. There are there, I think, but ये PDF होने के बाद ये hatch हुआ है ना सब wall. And many times it may be possible कि architects are not giving the windows in the beginning because as they get the column locations from the consultants, then they fit the windows within that area also. So कभी-कभी वैसे भी होता है, and sometimes ये अभी PDF होने के बाद ये hatch portion सब black हो गए सब. So definitely yes, you can ask, but please provide the windows location. So let's say these are the queries. We are listing down the queries to the architect. Please share window location. Share window location. See, you should develop the questions. It's very important. Location and sizes. Any other question? You can ask what is the sunk for the toilets, because how many floors are there? G+3. बताइए. So what is the sunk for toilets? Let's say that is one question. Sunk for toilets. Then
Sir,
Yes.
सर सर संग फॉर द टॉयलेट के लिए तो जो रूफ प्लान जब तैयार होगा उसमें वो मेंशन करेंगे आर्किटेक्चर।
हाँ उसमें ही ना, नहीं अभी तो वो दे जनरली इफ इट इज अ टिपिकल दे गिव वन प्लान ओनली, वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन द वन प्लान बट डू द टू प्लान्स लाइक ग्राउंड फ्लोर एंड फर्स्ट फ्लोर लाइक दैट।
ओके
तो वो अभी फर्स्ट फ्लोर भी करना है हमें इसको प्लानिंग, फर्स्ट फ्लोर ही important, so whenever we do the plan we generally start with the first floor. Okay, मतलब slab, first slab we try it and then we do the plinth level. So
आई थिंक सर इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल सो द मेंशन ऑफ संक स्लैब।
क्या क्या
सर आई थिंक हमको नहीं लगता वो मेंशन कर पाएंगे सर, क्योंकि आप आर्किटेक्चर जब प्लान बनाते हैं तो उस समय आप ये संक का नहीं दिखाया जाता, उसमें टॉयलेट लिख दिया WBC वगैरह।
नहीं नहीं वो अभी उन्होंने दिया ना इसलिए तो पूछ रहे हैं ना हम, क्वेश्चन तो करेंगे यार संघ कितना लेना है, करेक्ट, वो तो आर्किटेक्ट नहीं देना है ना, isn't it?
यस सर।
So they must give the information क्योंकि they are responsible for that. So ये संघ कौन डिसाइड करेगा फिर बाद में, ये तो so floor to floor height we have already discussed, which is 3.6. Okay. अभी पूरा नहीं दिखा रहा मैं, G+3 है, ये 3 है समझो, ये सेकंड फ्लोर है। ओके पूरा ही दिखाते हैं, ये फर्स्ट है एंड देन ग्राउंड, and ground is also this is ground level. This is your 0.9 meter plinth level, and then every floor is having 3.6 meter floor to floor height. Let's see. This is your plan section. So you are asking what is the sunk. Let's say architect is saying please take sunk as 300 mm. Okay, then let's say architect has already given the guideline regarding the windows. For the time being we will consider say let's say architect is saying that there is a window at every external face of the building and the size is let's say 1.5 meter wide and 1.2 meter height. So architect is saying the location is at external face of wall, okay, of all rooms, and the size is 1.5 meter wide by 1.2 meter height. Let's see. Now this is the answer comes from the architect. Any other questions? Now if you see the plan you will see that there is no any clarity nahi hai. What is the so we can say thickness of wall, समझ में नहीं आ रहा. Generally we get the architectural drawings through this actually. So this is the architectural drawing we get in the CAD, and see architect has not mentioned any thickness of wall, so you can measure this, and it seems that it is 230 mm. Okay. Okay. See, I'm taking this as an interactive session only because it is a creative phase. So there is no single answer to this. We are trying to develop a solution. Okay. So whatever this process I am discussing, we are trying to develop a solution, and develop means gradually it will develop. As we create questions, as we think over that, as we ask questions, as we give certain solutions, then we change our solution at one point. So this is a continuous brainstorming process, and through that brainstorming process, we develop a solution, which is generally a feasible solution, we can say. So I'm trying to explain you the process of developing a solutions in the beginning of project. Okay. So this solution, I would say concept solution, which is a feasible solution, feasible from all respect. So you may be surprised because see, these kind of questions are creative questions. And then that process, there you will find the solutions through this. अभी कुछ है क्या question आपको? अभी ये thickness of wall, as I mentioned, let's why not to write it? जो study कर रहे हैं ना, then mention that in diary. Thickness of wall, okay. 30 mm given. और कुछ?
Sir, how to design truss design?
क्या क्या?
हम ट्रस का डिजाइन किस तरह से कर सकते हैं और किस तरह से इसका ड्राइंग कंसेप्ट कोई स्केच अगर मिल जाता?
Truss, you are asking?
क्या सर?
Truss का मैं next time बताता हूँ. अभी let's look at the RCC part, RCC building. Okay. Now we are discussing only this building. See, client has asked you to do the structural design of this building. So you should definitely have the question with respect to this building, isn't it? So any questions regarding this project?
सर जैसे उन्होंने
हाँ,
कैड में भेजा था और
हाँ,
फाइनली उन्होंने वॉल वगैरह मेंशन नहीं किया था, हमने मेजर कर लिया उसको, बट वो क्या फाइनल डिस्कशन में वो हमको क्रॉस वो वेरीफाई करना जरूरी
yes,
होगा?
yes. Maximum verify करो. Correct. Now, yes, I have seen. अभी actually इस पे question नहीं पूछा. ठीक है, you discuss this. Now I found that through architectural measurement, मतलब at AutoCAD में measure किया मैंने 230 निकला है. You should verify the with the architect कि ये 230 mm है. Now see, now I may मेरा question ये है इसमें अलग से. First of all, I measured it, but I have seen that many buildings are having wall thickness as 150 mm. I think all of you know this. Yes or no? Most of the
Yes.
times in buildings we
Yes,
have
sir.
150 mm thickness. Now this architect is asking for 230 mm. अभी मुझे बताओ, if we have 150 mm thickness and if we have 230 mm thickness, what is the better solution, or what will have the impact of this decision 1 and decision 2? क्या होगा impact overall project में?
ओवरऑल वेट बढ़ेगा सर, और दूसरा कॉस्ट भी बढ़ेगा अगर मैं 230 वाले के साथ जाता हूँ, बट
Yes, so weight
कहीं ना
will
कहीं ये
increase, cost will increase.
यस सर,
Correct.
बट यहाँ पे ये सिंस रेजिडेंशियल बिल्डिंग नहीं है, ये एक पब्लिक बिल्डिंग है, तो वहाँ पे मे भी कुछ नॉर्म्स हों कि हम इससे कम नहीं दे सकते 230 से, तो
हाँ,
मे भी
तो
उस
ओके, आपको ये एक डाउट लग रहा है कि ऐसे तो कुछ नहीं है ना.
यस
So
सर.
better to ask architect first thing. अभी इसमें भी एक्चुअली वैसे कुछ नॉर्म नहीं है थिकनेस ऑफ वॉल का फॉर एनी बिल्डिंग्स. ओनली क्या रहता है, सी सब previously, before we can say some 20 years or 30 years, generally people used to take 230 mm thickness at ground floor, okay, and then 150 mm thickness above first floor, मतलब first floor and above, first and above. So generally there may be thieves and all this to protect from them. People used to have the 230 thickness at the ground floor and then 150. Now here also there is no general problem actually as far as the 230 wall is concerned. Actually 150 we can suggest, because see, it will have a cost impact. Unnecessarily cost of the project will increase. So it is better to go with this, but you cannot take this decision. You should ask to the architect, discuss with the client, and all together find out finally what should be the thickness of wall.
सर क्या यहाँ पे ड्यूरेबिलिटी का कंसिडरेशन भी आएगा वो, या फिर वो प्लास्टर से ही हैंडल हो जाता है?
See, durability is generally handled, क्योंकि ड्यूरेबिलिटी के लिए क्या करते हैं हम, वॉल की ड्यूरेबिलिटी के लिए, वॉल ड्यूरेबिलिटी, we do the plaster. Yes. So mostly plaster is sufficient to take care of this wall durability. ये 230 mm अगर कोई तो वहां अंदर समझो क्या रहता है, so if there is machinery, if there is a possibility of any explosion kind of thing, in that case the people used to have more thickness of walls. Okay, so generally for explosion areas, RCC walls are recommended, thick RCC wall, and the RCC wall may be 300 mm thick, 450 mm thick also. Okay, wherever there is a possibility of explosion, some material is there inside the campus or room which may explode. So in that case, thickness of walls are more. But here they are only partition walls, so why to take more wall thickness? So generally, I even recommend this to all consultants. Yeah, there is one via media. Generally, there are Ciporex and lightweight brick walls, which are available in 200 thickness also. So that can have midway solution also sometimes. But yes, you can discuss with this. First of all, you should know that there is a 200 mm thickness wall available. There are lightweight partitions. Then there are 150 thickness available, 230 available through bond means. So you can take that decision. So we discussed regarding the thickness of wall. Any other things you want to know? अभी ये बेसिक प्लान ही लिया मैंने. Now apart from that, any architectural छोड़ के कुछ questions है क्या आपको? Any questions apart from architectural?
सर कई बार ऐसा होता है हम वाइब्रेशन फेस करते हैं, इवन जो रोड के बगल में बिल्डिंग्स होती हैं. जैसे मैं एक हॉस्टल पे रहता था, तो वो हॉस्टल में वाइब्रेशन बहुत आते थे जब ट्रक्स गुजरते थे. तो वो क्या
गाड़ी
स्लैब?
जाने के बाद होता था क्या वाइब्रेशन?
हाँ हाँ, गाड़ी जाने के बाद.
फाउंडेशन का ये इशू है. सो इट इज अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ फाउंडेशन. जनरली ये फाउंडेशन अगर सॉफ्ट सॉइल पे रहेगा ना, ओके, ये एंड दिस let's say size is, and this is a soft soil, matlab there is a cushioning, it is not resting on the hard soil, and then let's say yahan se gaadi ja raha hai, तो in that case ये वाइब्रेशन यहाँ से ट्रांसफर हो सकते हैं. ग्राउंड के वाइब्रेशन दे विल ट्रांसफर टू द फुटिंग एंड देन दे विल ट्रांसफर टू द बिल्डिंग, रिवर्स like earthquake we can say, kind of earthquake. But yes, the vibrations are less compared with earthquake is very big frequency, but ये ऐसे हो सकता है डेफिनेटली. बड़े व्हीकल्स जाने के बाद they will transfer the load, impact load on the soil, and soil will vibrate, and the soil will vibrate, and then building will little vibrate. So
और
हाँ बोलिए.
जैसा ऐसा है कि कई बार डीजे वगैरह भी बजते हैं तो भी मतलब सिमिलर वाइब्रेशंस तो नहीं होते, बट कहीं ना कहीं एक वाइब्रेशन फील होता है.
दे आर पास थ्रू द एयर से पास होता है सब वाइब्रेशंस.
हाँ, तो क्या वॉल थिकनेस उस पे मतलब उन सब चीजों पे भी इम्पैक्ट करेगा? नहीं,
वैल्यूज आर वेरी लेस. वो मतलब साउंड वाइब्रेशंस जो रहेंगे, मे बी डीजे और मे बी व्हीकल्स रहेंगे, कोई जरूरत नहीं. एक्चुअली इफ यू प्रोवाइड से वो वाइब्रेशन यहाँ ही आ रहे हैं, मतलब डायरेक्टली थ्रू एयर.
हाँ,
वो एयर से आ रहे हैं एंड दे आर नॉट हैविंग स्ट्रक्चरल इम्पैक्ट एज सच. जनरली क्या रहता है, इफ देयर इज अ रेजोनेंस हैपनिंग ड्यू टू सर्टेन, सी इट इज वेरी रेयर केस हैविंग रेजोनेंस. So generally RCC buildings, the column beam sizes are very thick, and due to that thickness, actually if there is a kind of any vibration, sound vibration, generally resonance possibility is very, very less due to bulky nature of the building. There are walls, there are slabs, there are columns, so it is very solid structure, you can say. So they don't have any issues regarding the resonance in general. So vibration आया तो चलेगा, but they will not have any structural issues.
Yes sir.
Yes. Now there are many other questions which you should ask actually. Foundation का ये होने वाला है. So you should ask ये hard starter कहाँ पे है? Where is the hard starter? Where you will ask the
क्या आर्किटेक्चरल डिटेल में वो जियोटेक डिटेल में आते हैं ना सर, कि वो आर्किटेक्ट ही प्रोवाइड करेगा?
और अदर क्वेश्चंस रहेंगे तो भी पूछो ना, इसलिए तो बोला मैं अपार्ट फ्रॉम आर्किटेक्ट.
यस सर.
सो यू शुड आस्क द अदर क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज़ सी कंसेप्ट प्लान कर रहे तो हमें सब कुछ पता चाहिए.
हाँ.
सो बिफोर प्लानिंग एनीथिंग यू शुड हैव ऑल द इनपुट्स, ऑल द डेटा विथ यू. देन एंड देन यू कैन डेफिनेटली प्रिपेयर अ गुड प्लान.
सर एक प्रॉपर्टी लाइन का भी प्रॉब्लम आता है जब हमेशा हमें वो इसेंट्रिक फुटिंग वगैरह बनाने पड़ जाते हैं, तो वो एक बहुत बड़ा दिक्कत आता है.
तो you can ask architect question कि is there any property line issue, मतलब property line issue or any eccentric footing requirement. क्वेश्चन तो पूछ सकते हैं. अभी हमारे केस में नहीं है ये प्रॉब्लम है, बट ठीक है,
हाँ.
व्हाई नॉट टू आस्क दिस.
सर एक कॉलम का साइज कैसे डिसाइड करेंगे?
करेंगे वो अभी तक कुछ भी नहीं, वो दैट इज वेरी नेक्स्ट स्टेज. वी आर ओनली प्लानिंग.
ओके
कॉलम का लोकेशन डिसाइड करेंगे, साइज हमारा एनालिसिस के बाद ही आने वाला है ना.
ओके
या एक मिनट, कौन ये actually those who are currently doing the training program, कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा, डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट. व्हाटएवर यू अंडरस्टैंड प्लीज लिसन टू दैट, क्योंकि वो हमारा अगले ट्रेनिंग में होने वाला है. मतलब थोड़ा सा ओवरऑल आप बोल रहे हैं ना, डिजाइन कैसे करेंगे, साइजेस करेंगे, वो हमारा डिजाइन और बाकी हुआ नहीं है ना अब तक. तो यू मे बी फाइंडिंग डिफिकल्टी, बट डोंट वरी, जस्ट फोकस ऑन टुडे सेशन. So any questions? So we can ask you what is the hard strata level, where you will get this information. Hard strata किधर है, कौन देगा information?
सर जियोटेक रिपोर्ट से आएगी.
Yeah, so generally more appropriate way is to get the geotech report. So you can ask the client. अभी ये question आपको client को पूछना है. Ask the client, where is the geotech report? Okay. So geotech report, what information you will get? Hard strata level मिलेगा आपको कि कहाँ है hard strata level, and you will get that SBC value. Water table रहेगा तो water table भी मिलेगा आपको. Okay. So let's say your hard strata level is 1.5 meter below the ground level, and your SBC value is let's say 300 kilonewton per square meter as per geotech report. And water table, समझो no water table for simplicity. Okay. Or and if client says I have not done any geotechnical investigation, then what you will do?
फिर वो लोकल डाटा पे डिपेंडेंट रहना पड़ेगा सर.
लोकल डेटा थोड़ा लेना पड़ेगा. So you can take a test pit. So ask the client to take a test pit. Test pit generally 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter. ये मेरा प्लान डायमेंशन हुआ L and B and H as per hard strata. Till hard strata you get, you can ask them please excavate the pit till you get the hard strata. So till hard strata. Hard strata means what? So this is very judgmental. Generally ideal procedure is to go with the geotechnical report, but if you have any smaller projects, then client generally resists to do this. But as an engineer, as per judgment, we can also take decisions for smaller projects only, and only where the hard strata is available. Then and then you can take that decision, but don't take decisions if the strata is weak, like black cotton soil or any clay soil, or if the project is very big, high-rise building or something. So don't take your decision for bigger projects and when there is a weak soil. But if there is one bungalow G+1 or a bungalow like that, and there is a hard strata, let's say, if you excavate the test pit and if you see the hard strata is very near, then you can say, I can take that decision. But generally, whenever structural engineer takes the decision regarding the foundation SBC, he always assumes on the higher side because he don't want to take any risk. So you can ask the client, please take test pit, go till the hard strata. Now, how will you understand कि hard strata पे गए हैं नहीं हम? Yes.
सर सेम अमाउंट मतलब सेम डेप्थ को डिग करने के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा एफर्ट डालना पड़ेगा, वो एन वैल्यू जैसा ही कॉन्सेप्ट पे हम चलेंगे?
वो है क्योंकि अदरवाइज प्रैक्टिकल एस्पेक्ट ये है कि वो जनरली वी यूज द पोकलेन, पता है ना, फॉर
हाँ
एक्सकेवेशन.
सर।
सो पोकलेन में दो बातें रहती है. देयर इज वन बकेट. हैव यू सीन पोकलेन्स?
हाँ यस सर।
यस सर।
हाँ, पोकलेन में बकेट रहता है विच इज यूज फॉर एक्सकेवेशन, मतलब सॉइल निकालने के लिए बकेट से. और वेन एवर बकेट स्टॉप्स, it stops at the hard level, and if you want to excavate after the using bucket, it is not possible. Let's say 1.5 मीटर पे हम सॉरी यहाँ समझो ये मेरा पिट है, अभी चल रहा है एक्सकेवेशन समझो. And you were excavating this till 1.5 meter by using bucket, and after that now bucket is not possible. You cannot excavate this because this is hard. There may be rock or hard murum here, and you cannot excavate through bucket. You need needle to drill it first, and after drilling you require again that bucket to dispose that material. That means whenever the bucket stops, you can stop. That is the indication of hard start. Okay. Practical, we can say, judgment. And then you can take decisions roughly 250 to 300 kilonewton. You can take that such kind of SBC value decision, which are actually hard strata is having generally more 350 to 400 hard murum like that, we can say. But as I told you, as we are taking a decision which is not ours part, so better way I would say ki don't go much. So take decision as per your risk capacity and understanding. So if you ask me what size, I will take these values as per my experience. But if you take the decision, don't go beyond this unless you do many projects and get a feel of that numbers and all. So you see the geotechnical reports given by the geotechnical people. Then you can understand कि ये स्टार्टा था और इसके लिए उसका SBC ये आया है. So you can study the strata through the geotechnical reports, and then if such kind of situation comes, you can take that decisions कि बाबा ये 300 आएगा उसका 350 आएगा ऐसे. So this is the geotechnical we can say hard strata level मैंने निकाला. And as it is a hard strata, we can take isolated footing for the project. So इसके लिए वो मुझे data चाहिए था. So what is the help of this type of foundation? So let's say isolated. Why I'm deciding this? क्योंकि hard strata है इसलिए. This is quite good SBC and hard strata is well below. Near, we can say near to the ground level. We can say 1.5 is not big number. Now you got all this information from geotechnical report, client. Then you got information from this architects. So basic information I'm telling. The communication is not stopped. You need to again recommunicate with the architects, but after your work now. So अभी आपको एक enough information मिला है, तो why not to start our work first? अभी हमारा काम करेंगे. So बताओ what we do in structural planning?
Ascertain.
Yes. So structural planning में हमें column positions डालने हैं, beam positions डालने हैं और slab डालने हैं. Okay, so that is our role. So we will start with this. तो अभी बताओ column कहाँ से start करेंगे? Column तो डालने हैं हमें.
सर कॉर्नर से स्टार्ट करते हैं, किसी भी एक कॉर्नर को लेके.
Yes,
And then
we can start with corners.
उन्होंने
Yes.
जिस तरह को, यस सर, फिर जो ओपनिंग्स दिया हुआ है उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए एक जनरल ग्रिड अरेंजमेंट हम देखेंगे कि कहाँ पे बन सकता है. और फर्स्ट एक बार तैयार हो जाएगा फर्स्ट प्लान, देन उसमें फिर रिफाइनिंग करते चलेंगे.
तो let's start with this. यहाँ से करेंगे start corner पे. So whenever we start putting the column, we start with one corner. So it is always better to start with one corner. यहाँ से भी करो, यहाँ से भी करो, it's your choice. आगे से करेंगे. स्टेयरकेस से भी कर सकते, कहाँ से भी करो, नो प्रॉब्लम। ओके, सो सी ये 230 है हमारा वॉल, अभी इसमें प्लान में दिखा है। सो वी कैन हैव कॉलम विड्थ। सो जनरली कॉलम विड्थ कितने लेते हैं हम प्रैक्टिस में?
सर
Thickness of
सो द
wall.
कॉलम डायमेंशन,
वॉल
कॉलम,
वॉल के बराबर
Thickness of wall.
हाँ,
230
Thickness of
mm.
wall.
so column dimension generally we take 230 mm width of column, and depth may be anything as per your load calculations. Okay,
यस सर।
so ये 230 mm है। Generally this is applicable in residential building and other buildings also, and there is
Sir,
one
yeah.
more possibility, we can go with 300 also width of column for commercial buildings, school buildings, or whatever. Means you can take, there is no problem in taking 300 mm if it is required. But yes, I would say you can start with this number. These are good numbers. Why not to start with this? तो 230 करेंगे स्टार्ट। तो 230 हमारा वॉल का थिकनेस है। दैट मीन्स लकीली आवर कॉलम विल fit into this wall actually. Okay, if it is 230. Now let's say architect has suggested, we had a meeting with architect and client and architect and structural engineer. Finally they took a decision that you should have with thickness of wall as 150 mm, क्योंकि कॉस्ट हमारा बढ़ रहा है। क्लाइंट तो बोल रहा है कि हमारा कॉस्ट ज्यादा जा रहा है, मतलब हम क्या कर रहे हैं अभी 150 mm का वॉल ले रहे हैं। ओके, फॉर बेटर कॉस्ट। नाउ द कॉलम विल कम आउट। अभी ये वॉल समझो ये 150 का वॉल है, तो इफ आई ड्रॉ अ कॉलम, ये ऐसे कुछ तो ऑफसेट भी आने वाला है बाथरूम में, यस और नो? करेक्ट?
यस सर।
अभी इट्स ओरिएंटेशन हॉरिजॉन्टल चाहिए, वर्टिकल चाहिए, कैसे करेंगे?
Horizontal.
Hello. So now regarding the orientation, so I'm just putting the points. Now this was the size assumption. So we start with the assumption of width first, and then depth we can assume for putting on the plan in the beginning. So this was the size, and then orientation you can start with anything first. Orientation, I would say start anything. Why I'm asking telling you this, because I don't know in the beginning how to start, and there is no exact rule. So start anything mean exact rule to hai nahi. As I have told you, it is a creative phase, so no exact rules. And rule nahi hai to फिर कुछ ज़्यादा सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है ना। First बोल रहा हूँ,
सर
first in the beginning don't
तरह
think
के
much.
कॉर्नर कॉलम्स में जनरली जहाँ पे ज़्यादा मुझे एंड मोमेंट मिलता उस तरफ मैं ज़्यादा वो रखता स्टिफनेस, वैसा वाला रूल से चल सकते हैं क्या?
कर सकते हैं ना। अभी क्या है, आई थिंक यू आर डूइंग ऑन द प्रोजेक्ट्स ऑलरेडी, इसकी वजह से आपको थोड़ा थॉट प्रोसेस डेवलप हुआ है। सो देयर आर सम स्टूडेंट्स उनका थॉट प्रोसेस अभी डेवलप नहीं हुआ है, इसलिए मैं
हाँ,
पहले बोल
सर।
रहा हूँ कि वो कुछ रूल नहीं है। हाँ, पहले बता रहा
जी
हूँ,
सर,
सो
जी
दैट यू विल बी
ओके।
फ्री ऑफ एनी टेंशन फर्स्ट। देन वी विल पुट द कॉलम्स, ओरिएंटेशन कुछ लगेगा जैसे, एंड देन वी विल थिंक कि ये ओरिएंटेशन ऐसे किया तो क्या होगा, वैसे किया तो क्या होगा। सो फर्स्ट स्टार्ट एनीथिंग, देन आपने जो कॉलम ओरिएंटेशन लिया है, किसने ऐसे लिया है, किसने वैसे लिया है। So there may be many column orientations like this, horizontal or vertical. Once you start put these column locations and orientations, then think over it. अभी सोचना शुरू करो, पहले मत सोचो। पहले सोचने से तो फिर स्टार्ट ही नहीं होगा। अगर कुछ स्टार्ट करना होगा तो ज्यादा सोचना नहीं कभी भी। It may be technical or non-technical. If you want to start something, start first, then think यार ये सही है गलत है। मतलब नहीं तो क्या होता है, बहुत बार प्लानिंग में और थिंकिंग में ये हो जाता है प्रॉब्लम। मतलब दिमाग में नहीं आता ना कुछ. सो इट इज बेटर टू स्टार्ट समथिंग फर्स्ट, देन थिंक ओवर इट, एंड देन आस्क क्वेश्चन इफ this is the orientation, what will happen? Or if this is the orientation, what will happen? So you ask the questions. अभी ऐसे हुआ तो क्या होगा, ऐसे हुआ तो क्या होगा. Once you understand what will happen, then you will understand what to do then. अभी क्या करना है वो क्या होने के बाद ही समझ में आएगा ना. तो आपको लगेगा कि यार ये ऐसे किया तो मेरा मोमेंट बढ़ रहा है, ये बढ़ रहा है, वॉट एवर, आई डोंट नो. तो अरे मोमेंट बढ़ा तो स्टील बढ़ेगा या डिफ्लेक्शन बढ़ेगा, क्या होगा जो वॉट एवर मे बी द implications, you will think ये what will happen में समझ में आएगा. once you understand, then you can take decision. नहीं नहीं, ये ऐसे नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे चाहिए, या ऐसे नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे चाहिए, whatever. So that is the case. So think over the orientation after planning. अभी क्या करेंगे, डाल दो का, किसी को कुछ भी लग रहा है वो डाल सकते हैं. So अभी क्या करेंगे, just go on doing this without much, और बाद में फिर उसको हम करेक्शन करेंगे. करेक्शन इज ऑलवेज पॉसिबल. प्लान ही तो चल रहा है, कहाँ फाइनल कर रहे हैं. अभी मैं क्या करता हूँ, यहाँ एक 2-4 रूम के करता हूँ, देन वी विल थिंक ओवर दैट डिसीजन. अभी यहाँ बीच में डालू क्या?
हाँ सर, यस.
ऐसा कोई नेसेसरी नहीं होगा सर.
अननेसेसरी नहीं. अभी ठीक है, किसी को लग रहा है कुछ, कहाँ डालू बताओ. सी हम क्रिएटिव फेज में है, आप सही है गलत ये नहीं ढूंढ रहे हैं हम. किसी को जो लग रहा है ना
सेंटर.
वो करेंगे, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मुझे. और
सर
बाद
एक
में इसके, हाँ बोलिए.
ये स्टेयर के कॉर्नर पर होगा सर.
नहीं नहीं, वहां करेंगे ना. अभी यहाँ का बताओ ना, यहाँ डालू या नहीं डालू,
डलाएगा सर ये.
डालो ऐसे.
हाँ 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 सर. नो
ओके.
सर, ये ओरिएंटेशन होगा इस तरह. ओरिएंटेशन होगा सर, ये इस तरफ होगा.
खड़ा ले लू क्या?
हाँ सर, वर्टिकली डाल दीजिए सर.
ऐसे डालू.
यस सर.
ओके. नेक्स्ट, अभी कहाँ डालू बताओ.
स्टेयर.
अभी ये ऐसे डालता हूँ.
ओके.
अभी क्या करेंगे, मैं आई डू वन थिंग. यहाँ है ना, ये जो है ना क्लासरूम, ये और ये इतना ही करेंगे पहले, इतना जोन में. बाकी भी है बिल्डिंग, लेकिन अभी तो उतना करेंगे, और उसके ऊपर देन वी विल थिंक ओवर दैट. अभी ऐसे डालू और एक इधर या नहीं?
सर ये स्टेयर के पास उसको आप वर्टिकली कर दीजिए सर.
एक काम करता हूँ मैं, एक आपकी तरह सोचता हूँ मैं, एक मेरी तरह डालता हूँ. एक वर्टिकल आप बोल रहे हैं तो मैं एक वर्टिकल डालता हूँ. समझो या आपके लोगों में से एक बोल रहा है कि एक वर्टिकल डालो जैसे आप, एक आदमी बोल रहा है हॉरिजॉन्टल डालो. फॉर द टाइम बिंग, बाद में सोचेंगे उससे क्या होने वाला है. और किधर डालूं बताओ?
इस कॉर्नर पर सर.
ये कॉर्नर या
ये कॉर्नर इसके बगल में.
यही ना?
हाँ.
यहाँ डालू.
यस सर. इसके सामने डलाएगा सर.
इसके सामने. ओके. और कुछ? Any other locations? हेलो.
यस सर, इतना काफी है इसमें.
ये भी बताओ ना, क्लासरूम का भी बताओ.
ओके. 7 मीटर 7 21. सर इस पे
एक इधर
एज
डालता
पे
हूँ
तो
मैं,
लगेगा। हाँ
एक इधर डालता हूँ। देखिए, अभी ये मुझे पता नहीं मैं कैसे भी ओरिएंटेशन डालते जा रहा हूँ।
हम्म।
और कुछ अभी यहाँ भी डालता हूँ
सर
मैं, चलो।
लगभग 8 मीटर का है तो बीच में भी वो कर देते क्योंकि स्लैब काफी बड़ा हो जाएगा।
ओके, अभी नाउ वी विल डिस्कस ऑन दिस कि सही गलत या बेटर सॉल्यूशन, नॉट रॉन्ग समथिंग, रॉन्ग ऐसे कुछ नहीं देता, देयर इज ओनली अ बेटर गुड वी कैन से. So yes, already structural engineering is an approximate science, and as there are a lot of solutions, I cannot say that you are wrong or something. I can say that if there are three people, and if one of them is giving better solutions in all respects, which is cost effective, architecturally better, durable, and all these parameters, then that solution is better. सेकंड आदमी का ऐसे हो सकता है कि थोड़ा सा उसका स्ट्रक्चरली बेटर है लेकिन कॉस्ट थोड़ा ज्यादा आ रहा है, तो वी कैन से वो फर्स्ट वन इज बेटर देन ऑल दिस टू, एंड थर्ड वन का कॉस्ट भी थोड़ा ज्यादा आ रहा है और स्ट्रक्चरली भी थोड़ा ये हो रहा है. तो देर आर लॉट ऑफ वेज ऑफ डूइंग दिस. अभी मुझे बताओ, now whenever I put these column positions, what thoughts are there in my mind, what should be the thoughts, क्या क्या सोचना चाहिए मैंने एक कॉलम डालते समय.
सर पहले तो पोजीशन देखेंगे वो कहाँ कहाँ फिजिबल हो सकता है, और दूसरा फिर ये देखेंगे कि वहाँ पे कितना लोड ट्रांसफर होने वाला है, मतलब थ्रू स्लैब्स और वो बीम्स। और फिर उसके बाद ये होगा कि उसके नीचे की जो सॉइल का कंडीशन है उसके अकॉर्डिंग मेरा फुटिंग का साइज कितना आ रहा है, कहीं वो ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा कि क्लैश कर रहा है, मतलब नॉट इन दिस प्लान बट इन जनरल, कि कहीं वो फुटिंग, मतलब मेरे कॉलम पोजिशनिंग में फुटिंग का तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं आ रहा है।
ओके,
ये जनरल मतलब बेसिक थॉट है
you
जो आते
have
हैं शुरुआत में।
but quite you had discussed lot of thoughts actually. नॉट एन इशू, आपने बताया, लेकिन अभी से दोज हु आर बिगिनर्स उनके लिए फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल
To
थिंक
reduce
आर्किटेक्ट. यस प्लीज, कोई.
to reduce bending moments in beams.
या बेंडिंग मोमेंट तो अभी तक सोचा नहीं मैंने, डेफिनेटली वी विल थिंक ओवर दैट कि बेंडिंग मोमेंट क्या रहेगा. अभी एज फर्स्ट थिंक आर्किटेक्चरली, बिकॉज सी आर्किटेक्ट प्लेज अ वाइटल रोल.
Offsets
So
to the room.
first can we think yes,
Offsets to the room.
yeah, offsets to the room, right? So first why not to think offsets. So we can say give better solution architecturally, then think whether structurally it is better or not, and if you feel that structurally it is better, then you can select that. Now this is our column positions, and the offset comes in the bathroom. Okay, so there are two choices for you, either you can keep column like this, or अभी ये एक देखो, ये मेरा कॉलम पोजीशन है, एंड देन देयर इज वन मोर वे दैट आई कैन पुट इट वर्टिकली. व्हाट बेटर डू यू थिंक, फर्स्ट वन और दिस वन, क्या आपको लग रहा है बेटर?
This one, sir.
This
Longer span, sir. Longer span, sir.
This
Lengthwise.
one, sir.
this one you want better?
No, sir.
Reason?
Because it's shorter span. Our longer span is very lengthy.
No, you're talking about the beam span or column dimension?
Uh, Towards wall, sir.
Okay, this is better you are thinking or not?
Not, sir.
Okay. Okay, so we'll do one thing. Architecturally speaking, let's discuss that first. Architecturally speaking, there is offset here. You can see there is offset in the room. If this is the dimension, and then if you have the old option, then there is still offset in this. So actually, we cannot avoid the offset in bathroom. So you can choose any of the orientation first. So let's say we are choosing this orientation itself, and then we will discuss about this. Now, regarding this, what do you think? Is this orientation better or horizontal orientation? Let's think first architecturally. Why not to think architecturally first? पर ऐसे में डाल रहा हूँ, चलो. Anything else? ये better लग रहा है क्या?
No, sir. There is no need of any column because in between multiple of walls are created. So if longer span, then we can provide this.
हाँ, मतलब see, now we have taken the decision of putting the column. So the decision is done, means as a concept planning. Now where you will put the orientation? ये वाला या पहले वाला?
पहले वाला सर.
Okay, let's go with this. यहाँ भी offset आ रहा है और वहाँ भी offset आ रहा था. So okay, why not to decide this? अभी ये कर रहेंगे. I'm just thinking architecturally in the beginning. Now ये column, this is having offset in the WC, and okay, let's keep it as it is. Now let's look at this. अभी is it a better way और कुछ अलग होना चाहिए?
अलग होना चाहिए.
So what should be the, so orientation should be vertical here?
Sir.
So why?
Horizontal, sir.
Okay. जो the person who is saying horizontal, please justify क्यों लग रहा है आपको?
Because our lengthwise wall is so long.
Mhm.
Longer span towards horizontally, shorter span towards vertically. So if longer spans, then I think it should be provided towards longer side.
Okay, so generally having longer walls is not a big deal most of the times if the spans are 4 or 5 meters. Okay, so you are saying ki, this orientation will reduce this wall length, isn't it?
No, sir.
thinking-
Our all wall length, sir. Our all from 0 to end
Here
point.
to
Sir.
here?
No, sir. From 0 point, sir. 0 left corner
one?
to right corner.
Huh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so okay, but generally this point you don't take much into consideration as long as your walls are more than 10 meters, 6 meters, 7 meters. Then you can think of, because we have an internal, we can say, within brick wall we create RCC columns just to reduce the span
So
of the
also,
walls.
sir, beam also rest
Generally.
on
So we
columns.
don't take structural
So
columns for that. We take only
beam design also.
beam is
varies
resting on the
with
columns.
G.
So if you take this column, actually what happens, there is an offset within the staircase. So whenever you travel through the staircase, the offset creates problem, and there are problems architecturally also, because generally architect don't allow this offset to come in the staircase, because there has to be, see, all of you know that in architectural drawings this dimension, sorry, this dimension is given as per the bylaws. If it is a commercial building, generally it is 1.5 meters something. So what happens if within this column corner, it gets reduced. Okay, it will be less than 1.5. And many times in municipal corporation, they give objection on this kind of offsets generally. So generally, we should not have any offset within the staircase area. Generally, I'm saying, if there is a really exceptional case which you cannot avoid, then I would say, then there may be okay, but don't do this. There will be problem. Architect will first create a query. So I would suggest, so what is the next solution? See, architect is not allowing this column offset inside the staircase. So what to do? So there are two choices. Then take this here.
No, so center.
Which center?
Wall within center of column.
Again, it is coming inside
Right.
this. Offset तो आ रहा है इधर फिर. So why not to take at one end? चलेगा या नहीं चलेगा? Any problem having column here?
No, sir.
Okay. Now this also I can shift it. अभी ये मैंने shift किया इधर. Now are all columns okay now?
हाँ
Now
सर.
यहाँ भी आ रहा है ना ये offset.
यस सर, बट वो उसको अवॉइड नहीं किया जा सकता. यहाँ पे कोई वैसा नहीं है कि वॉल दूसरे डायरेक्शन में रन कर रही.
So let's keep this column as like this. Okay. अभी एक काम करेंगे, ये थोड़ा वाला इतना ही पोर्शन करेंगे, कॉर्नर वाला पोर्शन. एंड
Yes,
नाउ
sir.
ओके, ये भी करेंगे रूम का. चलो नाउ टेल मी, ये कॉलम ओके है कि आपको लग रहा है?
शिफ्ट हो सकता है सर, कहीं ना कहीं ओपनिंग ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट हो रही. मैं
Yes,
आर्किटेक्चरली
yes. So
बोल
अभी
रहा
ये
हूँ.
देखो, if you are an architect, definitely you will first not like, because या उनका डोर पोजीशन है उसके बीच में ही आ रहा है, isn't it?
यस सर.
So first of all you should try कि can I avoid this? So there is one choice कि ये इसको मैं यहाँ शिफ्ट करता हूँ राइट साइड. तो तेरे वो डोर लोकेशन जो है ना, ये इंटैक्ट रहेगा as per architectural drawing. So okay, architect is saying I don't want that. So first of all you can follow the architectural requirements and check whether you can do it structurally. Then think over your solution, whether your solution is better from structural point of view. पहले architectural point of view सोचो, क्योंकि first of all वही वो ये करने वाले आपको objection लेने वाले. तो पहले आपके पास वो solution चाहिए, and बाद में if you say कि नहीं मुझे इधर ही column चाहिए, समझो ऐसे बोल सकते हैं मैं as a structural engineer I can say I want column over here only. Then architect will ask you why you want column over here. मेरा डोर जा रहा है, तो आपको भी कुछ तो स्ट्रक्चरल एविडेंस देना पड़ेगा या कन्विंस करना पड़ेगा उनके स्ट्रक्चरली ऐसे हो रहा है वैसे हो रहा है. So you should give the right suggestion to the architect. You should justify your answer. Then and then he will agree. Otherwise he will not agree. तो ठीक है, अभी मैं ऐसे करता हूँ. चलो. Now let's once you put the columns, what is the next stage?
सर उसको फिर स्ट्रक्चरली चेक करेंगे कि कहाँ पे वो ओरिएंटेशन किस तरह का इफेक्ट डाल रहा है.
तो for our second step is put the beams. तो बीम करेंगे हम,
हाँ.
नहीं क्या?
यस सर, यस सर.
तो ही हमें पता चलेगा क्या करना है. तो let's say we are creating beams. So अभी बीम कहाँ डालना है बताओ? थोड़ा कॉर्नर ही लेंगे काम करने के लिए, सब प्रैक्टिस तो हो जाएगा. So where to draw the beams? Where the beam supports?
Over columns.
Below wall. Partition.
Yes, below walls is one of the important criteria. Generally, whenever we provide any beams, first we think whether there is wall. If there is a wall, we try to put that beam below the wall most of the times. तो समझो. और what will be the width of beam generally?
Thickness of wall.
Thickness of, so generally 230 mm beam size. So thought behind column position में मैं क्या बोल रहा था? Architectural offsets is the first thing. Architectural offsets. Then any functional issues. Then next, let's say beam के लिए I start with beam size as 230 wide. So 230 will be the width of the beam. Okay. and you draw the beams. Depth we are not deciding because it is a plan.
नहीं बाबा.
So let's draw the beam. So this is first beam, let's say. Then next beam. डालेंगे. So it's very easy actually. ये तो beam possible है. We will provide one beam over here. Then provide one more beam over here. और कहाँ डालना है बताओ? Here.
Staircase room 1.
Yes, sir.
Now you see here what is happening here. Just check it here. So as this column is here, now this beam is resting partly on the column and partly on the beam, isn't it? दिख रहा है आपको? ये इधर offset.
Yes,
Does
sir.
this is it resting? क्योंकि यहाँ मेरा ये फेस पे ड्रॉ हो रहा है और बाद में यहाँ जाने के बाद ये it is resting partly on the beam and partly on the column. And generally this is not a good choice as a structural point of view. If it is unavoidable, you can take that decision. I don't have any issue, but it is not a good choice. So can you create that? Can you avoid this offset? ये beam का. Why it is happening? Because this column is having offset here in this room, and this column is having face over here. तो यहाँ face इस column का है और यहाँ face इस column का है. इसकी वजह से हो रहा है. So what is the solution? एक ही line में चाहिए ना ये.
Yes, sir.
So move this column here. अभी ये line, this face is same as this face, and then this your column, your beam can rest exactly like this. So ये face and this face is matching. Now your beam will transfer the load directly to the column. इस case में. Got it? So see, whenever you start your column position in the beginning, it doesn't mean that it will be there for long. बीच बीच में हमारे decision change होते हैं. Then we see अरे ये beam को it is not resting the beam. Then why not to shift this? So such a change in decision, such a change in planning is there continuous till the final decision is made. तो अभी तक final हमने कुछ भी किया नहीं है. We are trying, experimenting, and then देख रहे अच्छा क्या है उसमें, क्या problem आ रहा है क्या. अभी you came to know कि यार ये offset यहाँ आने की वजह से ये beam नहीं rest हो रहा properly इस पे. So just shift, I shifted the column. Now any issue? यहाँ लग रहा है आपको वैसे भी होगा. We think that will happen here also. ये देखो ना ये face कहाँ है.
Yes, we require to shift column.
तो shift this also. अभी उसकी वजह से वो समझ में आया. अभी ये line. Now I can. Now this is good. Okay. And और कहाँ बीम चाहिए क्या? इसका क्या होने वाला है? So let me draw the columns over here also. यहाँ भी डालते हैं चलो. Now what to do? So if I draw beam like here, then it has to rest. So these beams were resting on the column. So it is very easy to raise the beams on the column. अभी यहाँ तो column है ही नहीं, तो where to raise this beam? ये horizontal beam, where should I rest? So I will provide one beam over here. ऐसे कुछ तो beam rest. Okay. And once I have this main beam with me, then I can rest this horizontal beam on that beam. So we can rest the beams on beam also. Not necessary that beam should be on the column, it should be on the beams also. So I can provide like this also. Better solution is always resting beams on columns, but in such cases there is no other choice. Okay, ये समझ में आया? Now और बताओ कहाँ कहाँ चाहिए? So beam decision we are taking below the walls is first case. Then we are taking, अभी यहाँ wall थी क्या? Is there wall over here? नहीं है passage में. Yes or no?
Yes sir.
So why I am taking the beam here then?
वो क्योंकि हमको जो दूसरी बीम उधर से आ रही है उसको सपोर्ट करना.
Because I want to raise this beam on this beam, and that's why I'm taking that beam. So the beam decision is either governed by the wall locations, or if you want to support one beam on that, so then you can take the decision. Wall नहीं है फिर भी लिया मैंने यहाँ. और कुछ criterias. Okay. अभी let's say और कहाँ beam चाहिए बताओ? यहाँ भी draw करता हूँ. यहाँ क्लासरूम में.
Yes sir. सर जहाँ पे हमने वो सेकेंडरी बीम का अरेंजमेंट दिया हुआ है वहाँ पे उसको एज ए कैंटिलीवर करना ज़्यादा कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव नहीं होता. ओके.
यस, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव इतना छोटे डिसीजन से समझ में नहीं आएगा हमें. But we can have say, okay, so let's not discuss over here. So either you can have so एक मेरा choice है. One choice is like this, that I will raise this beam on this beam. So I will provide one beam over here. I will raise this beam on this, and this beam I will rest on this beam. Okay. So this is one of the case or arrangement. Or there is one more choice कि मुझे ये beam नहीं चाहिए, but I need one smaller beam over here, and as it is not resting on anything, it will be cantilever beam. So there is one more choice that I can have cantilever beam over here. Okay, no problem. ये भी choice है आपके पास. अभी क्या करता हूँ मैं, ये choice I'll just keep this choice. Then we will again reanalyze whether this choice is better or not. Okay, let's keep it. Let's take cantilever beam over here and raise this beam on that cantilever. Okay. आगे जाने के बाद सोचेंगे उसके ऊपर क्या बेटर क्या था. या Now let's go to the rooms. Rooms में भी क्या करेंगे हम? Again you will see here. Or this column faces in this side and this is here. That means I cannot rest the beam completely. If I want to raise this, see, you can see it is not resting fully on the column because this column offset is to the left side. So why not to take this offset in this room? Okay. See, this is creative phase. As I told you, please have a patience. We are together finding the solutions. I'm not giving you the training as a trainer and having experience. Please try to understand. I am not giving you training, but we are trying to find the solutions together. So you are also thinking along with me. Okay. So please involve actively in the process. The process is very much important. We are trying to find out through thought process and brainstorming. I took this column over here and now it is resting correctly. Okay. Similarly, this column is exactly at the center of the wall. And this we have taken as offset. So वैसे करेंगे. Then let's take beam over here. Anything else? Now you can think over it. Here what I have done, I have taken the column offset in this classroom number 2. I have taken this column also in classroom 2, the offset. Okay. And you will see that in classroom 1, there is no any offset. So directly, indirectly, I am doing the injustice to the classroom 2. And classroom is very offset free, I would say. This offset is in the, okay, these 2 columns are having offset in classroom 1. And these 2 are in classroom 2. Okay, so I don't see any injustice here. But here you can see that you have taken the column between the walls. So exactly at the center of the wall. And here you are taking the columns offset to the wall. So flushing to the face, one face. Now here also you can think, can I provide this column at the center of the wall? If you take at the center, then you need to shift this also to the left so that you can provide the beam exactly flushing the column. So this is also one of the choice. So आपको क्या लग रहा है, which one is better from your opinion?
This one, sir.
Keeping at the center, this one?
Yes.
So this one looks okay. Yes. because this is also center, this is also center. So keep the same philosophy for every room, because the rooms are having same dimensions, and they are classrooms, I would say. So why not to keep the same arrangement as far as structural part is concerned? So there will be, we can say, structural symmetry also within the structural arrangement. So as the architects follows the architectural symmetry many times, why not to follow the structural symmetry also? So be okay, I can do this. What next? So once we provide the beams, we provide the slabs. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in toilets, generally we have the sunken slabs, and we have already discussed with the architect that the sunk is 300 mm for the toilet. So if this kind of multiple toilets are there, generally we provide full sunk within all this area. Okay, total sunk रहेगा इसमें, and the sunken slab will be 300 mm sunk. So if you draw the section of sunk, कैसे दिखेगा ये? So this will be your sunk slab, and these are beams. This is also beam, and the sunk is 300 mm. So this is 300 mm. Why sunk we provide in toilets? किसके लिए चाहिए sunk?
Sanitary fittings.
For sanitary fitting and waterproofing. Sanitary fittings and waterproofing. So we will take that sunk or toilet sunk like this. This is the section you can see, and so this is your slab. Now tell me, whenever you so let's say these are lightweight partitions for you can ask this question. अभी architect को question पूछ सकते कि is it a brick wall, is it a glass wall, or what? So in such kind of we can say there are partition walls which are very lightweight. So I can ignore these walls as far as my beams are concerned. So I will not provide each and every beam below each smaller wall, because these are very thin walls. They are partition wall. They are lightweight walls. So it may be glass wall also. It may be wooden partition along with the tiling, or it may be Siporex wall of 4-inch. So if that is the case, and if the length of the wall is very small, don't provide any beam. Just provide some slab over here. Total slab is there now. So ignore these walls for the time being. अभी बताओ how to put the slab here. मतलब, so we decide one-way slab or two-way slab, isn't it? So how we decide one-way, two-way slab?
Ly by Lx.
So Ly by Lx, we decide that. So there are two criteria regarding one-way, two-way slab. One-way, in one-way slab, there has to be minimum 2 beams, and Ly by Lx for one-way slab is
Greater than 2.
Greater than 2.
and for two-way slab there has to be minimum 4 beams in all directions. This is one criteria, and second is Ly by Lx is I ask you one question. If Ly by Lx is exactly 2, क्या करेंगे आप?
Two-way slab provide
Two-way
करते
slab.
सर
Better
वो
to have a
two
choice of two-way. Two-way is
way
a
ही होगा वो.
better choice always.
Yes. सर ये मिनिमम 4 बीम्स वाला क्राइटेरिया क्या हमेशा सही होगा? इन सेंस अगर वो
ऑब्वियसली
3
अगर
बीम वाला
4 बीम
सिस्टम
ने
है,
क्या क्या
जैसे 3 बीम वाला सिस्टम है, एक तरफ वो हैंगिंग है, वैसा है तो
नहीं,
वहाँ
so I
डिस्ट्रीब्यूट।
cannot say it is a two-way slab. Yes, it is having some three-way kind of say slab. You need to model that kind of slabs. You cannot do it manually by using manual calculation or Excel programs. For any two-way slab, two-way means there are 4 beams all round, and then I for two-way slab. Yes,
हाँ, यस सर।
3
नहीं,
रहेगा तो वो हाँ क्या
डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन सर, वो मतलब एक्स वाई डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बेस्ड ही तो होता है ना, मतलब वन वे या टू वे जो बोला जाएगा कि वो किस डायरेक्शन का डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ले रहा है। तो जैसे 3 में है ये, मतलब चाहे ये रेक्टेंगुलर स्क्वायर स्लैब हो वो ठीक है, बट कहीं पे अगर ये नहीं मिला, मतलब पॉलीगोनल टाइप का कुछ अरेंजमेंट है स्लैब्स का, लाइक जैसे कुछ कभी कभी होता है कमर्शियल
पॉलीगोनल
बिल्डिंग्स
में,
में।
हाँ फिर वैसे टू वे करते हैं हम
ओके।
जनरली वी कैन से इन पॉलीगोनल में रिजोल्यूशन करना पड़ता है वहाँ either do
ओके।
the resolution or do the it using software. So ये दो ही choices रहते हैं
जी
और
सर।
if you are using same formula then take little higher side. So
हम्म।
these are the 3 ways by which we can handle such a polygonal shape. Now what is the ly by lx? Are there any two beams? मतलब spanning कैसे रहेगा मेरा? और let's say ly by lx कितना है इसका? ly मतलब कौन सा डायमेंशन, बड़ा या छोटा?
लॉन्गर डायरेक्शन सर।
in y direction.
So 6.7 divided by ये कितना है मेरा 3.05.
3.0।
Now tell me the value will be less than 2 or more than 2?
मोर देन 2 सर।
More than 2. Okay. So shall we consider one way? करेंगे चलो. So I can denote this as one way and let me name this as S1. So this is one case. अभी बताओ, so we have decided this slab spanning. अभी staircase का span कैसे होगा?
वो बाय डिफॉल्ट वन वे ही होगा सर।
So yeah, staircase, all of you know that in staircase the flights are inclined flights. So and that means there cannot be any two-way condition. It will be one way only. One way होगा ना staircase? या two way रहेगा?
Yes,
See, these two flights are sloping flights. So there is no beam over here. And I told you for two-way slab there has to be 4-sided beams. So यहाँ भी beam नहीं है मेरा. For example, I don't have beam over here and I don't have beam in this direction also. That means I can say it cannot be two-way. ये तो compulsory है. Two-way is not possible. अभी one-way कौन से direction पे रहेगा? Whenever I say it is a one-way, that means the slab load will transfer on this beam and this slab load will transfer on this beam. Half load on these beams, half on this. And then that means we can say the slab is spanning like this. So where the staircase load will transfer? कौन से beam पे जाएगा? बताओ. ये beam पे जाएगा? Will this go on this beam?
यस सर।
जाएगा?
नहीं नहीं नहीं, वो तो वो बीम है ना
ये
हमारा,
लेवल
मतलब
पे ही
एक
नहीं ना,
सिंगल लेवल
staircase तो
पे है।
हमारा
हाँ,
अलग ही लेवल
सिंगल
पे
लेवल
है.
पे।
So this
यस।
will go on this
Landing
अभी.
beam,
हाँ बोलो.
landing beam, it will go to the landing beam.
Let me call it as a B2. So this will rest on B2, isn't it? तो मेरा ये spanning ऐसे होने वाला है. Is it convinced? The
हाँ।
staircase is resting on B2 and it will transfer half load on B2. अभी बाकी लोड किधर जाएगा इधर?
बाकी लोड के लिए वो सर हमको उसी के फ्लाइट के अलोंग बीम देना होगा।
So see, I don't have any beam over here which will take the one way load here. मतलब हाफ लोड तो मेरा इधर जाएगा B2 पे, बट यहाँ भी कोई तो चाहिए ना. So that means now beam चाहिए मुझे, I want beam. So whenever we do planning, बीच बीच में हमें ऐसे कुछ तो रिक्वायरमेंट डेवलप होते जाते हैं. That's why I told you start somewhere. कुछ भी करो स्टार्ट, बाद में उसके ऊपर सोचो. अभी यहाँ मुझे लोड लेने के लिए बीम नहीं है, इसलिए मैं यहाँ प्रोवाइड कर रहा हूँ. ओके, तो नाउ दिस बीम इज देयर. Now this half load will be taken by this beam. Now it looks okay. Now this will be one-way slab and this will also be one-way slab. Okay. What will be the level of this beam? ये level क्या रहेगा मेरा बीच? So whenever I start from here, मेरा समझो ये up है. So all of you know that this is a half distance. So this will be mid landing beam actually.
3.8 के around कुछ.
So I will write it as MLB, mid landing beam. Okay, so this will be mid landing beam. So this slab flight will rest on this first. Then again from here to here it will go to the floor level. This is my, I can say. See, and now I am drawing the plan at first floor level. Please keep in mind. The basic बातें रहती है, नहीं तो भूल जा सकते. I am doing the plan at first floor level. ये जो level है ना, I am drawing this at this level. ये first floor level. So we are trying to draw the slabs and beams at first floor. अभी बताओ. Now there is a passage slab over here. ये दिख रहा है ना? So I don't have anything here, so I need to provide a beam over here. Why not to provide? First partly निकलता हूँ मैं, बाद में देखेंगे उसका link. Let's say I have a beam like this. First of all, you can think of cantilever, and then you can rest here. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, do you think what will be the slab over here in this zone? One way, two way.
Way.
So it depends on the C. This is your 6.1, and then let's say this is your 1 meter. So it will be 7 meters. So 7 divided by 3.3 will be actually one way. Yes or no?
Yes.
But you can see there is no exact rectangle over here. ऐसे एक offset आ रहा है. There is an offset you can see here, and it is not exactly rectangle. The way it was for S1, इसमें कैसे exactly rectangle है? Clear. वैसे यहाँ एक offset आ रहा है, and that means now there is a doubt कि अभी क्या करने का इसको. Yes, one choice is that I will have one-way slab like this, depending on Ly by Lx. But ये partly मेरा still ये beam पे जाएगा. Let me call this as a B10, let's say. So the half load will go on B10, then this, let me say this as a B9, and then half load will go on B9. Okay. And yes, B20, whatever. So ये एक choice है, and there is one more choice that let me delete this. So I can actually, instead of cantilever, why not to take this like this? So this is also one of the choice. Now I have a pure rectangle shape over here, pure rectangle shape over here. And then I can think of providing two-way slab depending on Ly by Lx. So this Ly by Lx will be less than 2, so two-way. Again, this is less than 2, so two-way. So this is also that choice. अभी ऐसे भी हो सकता है. पहले वाला choice भी था, ये भी है.
ये बल्कि ज़्यादा कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव पड़ेगा, क्योंकि यहाँ पे मुझे स्लैब थिकनेस कम देनी पड़ जाएगी अगर मैं पे करता हूँ.
कम लगेगी, then structurally भी better लग रहा है, because there is a pure rectangular shape. So the behavior will be as per your planning. So whenever we do something which is you cannot analyze or which you cannot really predict, then it is better not to do such kind of things. तो जो पता है वो करो, क्योंकि जो पता नहीं वो करते समय देयर आर assumptions, approximations, errors, doubts. So I don't say don't try something new, but in the beginning don't try. As you get the experience, then you can have the creative ideas. अभी ये हुआ. Now
सर
tell me. हाँ
मेरा
बोलिए.
एक क्वेश्चन है कि जो यहाँ पे B9 और B10 के बीच का कॉलम है,
ओके, ये वाला.
हाँ बॉटम वाला, उसको थोड़ा और बॉटम डायरेक्शन में शिफ्ट कर सकते थे क्या?
हाँ, so वो, हाँ, yes, good. I liked observation. तो अभी करेंगे वैसे भी. चलो, not. So that this B9 will have a direct load on the column.
हाँ.
Yes.
यस सर, क्योंकि वो पर्पस तो सर हो ही जाएगा नहीं, हाँ वहाँ पे दोनों बीम के ऊपर
हाँ,
करने का.
तो ये है ना, गुड चॉइस. जैसे हमने यहाँ पॉइंट लोड पे किया था ना, ये पार्टली जा रहा था ना, तो वैसे भी ये कर सकते हैं. नॉट बैड.
और वहाँ
बिकॉज
पे फिर
यहाँ ऐसे मेरे पास वॉल भी है यहाँ तक,
हाँ
वो ले सकते हैं. करेक्ट. तो ठीक है, ये बेटर चॉइस.
यहाँ पे टाई का रिक्वायरमेंट होगा, बट वो भी उतना ज़्यादा फिर नहीं रह
नहीं
जाएगा.
नहीं, हाँ, ये ठीक है. ये बीम इज रेस्टिंग ऑन दिस एंड दिस बीम इज रेस्टिंग ऑन दिस. So no problem. This is also good solution. Now, apart from you, I ask other people, whatever decision we have taken previously before this column location, वो हमारा wrong था क्या? Whether we have a wrong last time?
No, sir.
Why? Already I told you there are many solutions for the same problem. And as there are many solutions, ऐसे कुछ wrong right नहीं है. But I can say better बोल सकते हैं कि this one looks better from my point of view. And you can justify your answer also. So the way you are saying कि वो पहले वाला ये, this is not wrong. So you can give answer कि okay, I will do this and that. You will give some answers. Second person will say नहीं, ये वाला जरा better है क्योंकि वो मेरा load मुझे structurally better मिलेगा. So for example, this B9 will have direct load on the column. So my structural arrangement is better in that case. And so I'm taking that decision. So you have justification answer. You may be also having your justification. There is no problem. And both are right. क्योंकि एक डिसीजन से कोई बड़ा होने नहीं वाला और कोई छोटा भी नहीं होने वाला. Even though somebody is correct at that point, अभी ये पूरा building बाकी है. We have all the planning to be done. So sometimes that first person is giving good solution in the beginning, that at some location the second person is giving good suggestions and solutions. So there is no exact right or wrong, but better within the situation. Now tell me what to do regarding the classroom. So these slabs are now over. What to do this? Is it one way or two way?
ये टू वे ही होगा.
2 way.
2way. 7.7 by 6.1 less than 2. This one is same size and span. 2 way. Okay, now 12, I think 12 baj gaye kya? We can continue that. So this will be, I think, let's try to finish that within 2 work days actually. So this Sunday and maybe next or next to next Sunday, we will continue this problem. I just want to ask you whether do you find this useful first? So we have this. Do you find this useful? This
Sure.
session?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And my main aim of this session is especially the thought process. Here we are not learning ये bending moment कैसे निकालना है, उसका steel कैसे निकालना है. See, we are not here to learn that. That is not my intention of this session. that you are learning in our training program already, and those who are old students, they have already done that. So I'm not interested in that, but I want to develop a thought process within you. And thought process within you, please try to understand. Mera already hai developed within my experience, whatever I have. You need to develop. That's why we are together working on this. Okay, so I am taking interactive session for that, because this is a really classical work, say, process, which you cannot learn by any books, by any using softwares. This is only possible through classical process, and classical process is a thought process. So what is the main part of creating thought process is create questions first. I'll just write it out down and then we'll close. Create question is the first criteria. It is not necessary that you should know everything. First is the create question. Second is start somewhere. Don't think too much. Start somewhere. अगर आपको कुछ डाउट है, horizontal ले लूं या vertical ले लूं, छोड़ दो. कहाँ से तो start करो. कॉलम जैसे चाहिए वैसे डालो. कितने चाहिए उतने डालो. Once you start somewhere, then prepare your concept first. Prepare your concept. Once you prepare your concept, then do the brainstorming. अभी यहाँ आपको सोचना है कि सही है गलत है या बेटर क्या है. So brainstorming is required, and then once you do the brainstorming, then change for better proposal. जैसे हम करते जा रहे हैं ना अभी. पहले कॉलम इधर था, then we shifted that column to that side for better load transfer. Then there were problem to the offset in the staircase, so we have shifted this column in this toilet area. Then I have added this beam so that this two-way loading is better choice. So I'm changing a lot of things after the brainstorming, and finally arrive at a better solution at the end. Better from your point of view. So this is the process, and that is my expectation through this session. Not that how to calculate a bending moment, how to calculate AST, and what is this and that. Great. It's very conceptual part. So we will continue that in one of our next Sunday, or maybe next Sunday. I don't know. Let's try to continue this next Sunday only, because there will be rhythm of this, and we will develop. So any questions?
नो सर, अभी इस सेशन में तो कुछ नहीं है.
चलेगा. So we will continue this on next Sunday, and we'll close that. Till that also, if you have any questions, please ask. You can at least note the questions on your diary, and we can discuss in the next session.
सर एक बात वो डिस्कस करिएगा नेक्स्ट में, जब हमारा जनरल एक अरेंजमेंट डेवलप हो जाता है, फिर उसके बाद कई जगह पे ऐसा होता है कि हम बीम्स को सिर्फ वो टाई करने के पर्पज से दे रहे होते हैं.
हाँ.
वो कॉन्सेप्ट एक बार बताइएगा कि उसके पीछे का थॉट प्रोसेस एग्जैक्टली होता है.
हाँ, यस, बताएंगे श्योरली. ये जस्ट नोट इट. मुझे पूछो उस टाइम. करेंगे ना, डेफिनेटली आई विल डिस्कस. कहाँ कब टाई बीम देना है, क्या देना है.
जी.
ओके.
जी सर.
Okay. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and good day to all of you.
Same to you, sir.
Thank you.